Do
Yeah.
it. Do it. Hey, everybody.
Week's end.
Friday. That means
It's our
week's end.
Yes, it's time for the
Joined once again by
holiday
the
super
man.
special extravaganza.
Thanks so much, Ian, for joining the show, giving us a live intro. Folks, happy
Nice
Friday.
Happy
2020
Friday.
is almost over, right,
I
Graham?
know we're at like 97% of this year. I am so ready to be done with it and let it go. But we got a special show today, Ryan. What's happening today? Talk to me,
We
baby.
do. So, folks, we have a green room now, apparently, and there are
With
something
friends.
like 24 people waiting to get on the show.
So nice.
And so we're going to bring them on.
Hundreds of people applied for the position,
And
by the way. Hundreds.
We got lots of user feedback that you're tired of hearing what we nerd out about, and you want to hear what everybody else is nerding out about. So we thought we would invite on some friends to
I like this.
talk with us. But first,
All right. But
we have
first,
Graham, I don't know if you received it, but I sent a package to
hold
your
on.
house.
The present you sent me is under my Christmas tree, which is back here at my desk that I clearly stole from somewhere else in my house. Should I open up my
Go
present?
for it. Do it.
It says Fragile. I think that's Italian. Okay, here we go. Ready? Oh, this is so exciting. Corn dogs!
Yes,
Oh,
I know.
a whole pack of corn dogs. Oh, this is so exciting. All right, hold on. I'm going to actually open
You're
it.
going to need like a knife because I have a tendency to
knife?
tape.
I don't need a knife. Are you kidding me? I just have these giant meat paws that I call hands. Okay, well, this is a whole thing of smashed glass. It looks like it was a 1993 Dodge Viper, but it is in many pieces.
Well, that's I don't know if you saw it back in the 70s, but Dan Aykroyd was selling just a bag of glass to children.
Clearly you sent me a Dan Aykroyd official bag of glass, which I love. This is good. You sent me a compass watch that now I won't get lost when I'm trying to go on my morning commute from the bathroom to my office.
So think of this as
Did you give me IBM swag? Oh, dude, you're so nice. So much survival gear. How am I ever going to get lost again? Oh, a Raspberry Pi. I love how you just went and took a whole bunch of swag from like a swag closet and sent it to me. Oh, this is great. This is a North Carolina Ferry System oversized pencil. Okay, I'll take it. I'll take it. This is in the spirit of giving.
You can also just sharpen it into a spear to go fishing.
A dumpster fire keychain. Obviously, my dumpster fire approves. That is very exciting. What's this? What's this? Oh, an IBM notebook. That's great. I'll just toss that behind me on the floor.
You don't have any of those, do you?
Forget that it's back there. Ryan, an at-home marijuana drug test. Jesus Christ, dude. Okay, I hope that one comes with some spare pee.
Now, there was an item
wow.
taped to the outside. Make sure that like when you tore the paper off, I think there was a special.
Oh, yeah. I got it. I see it. A Gen X Dude Crew ornament. You're the best.
That was bedazzled by these hands.
You're the best. What's this? A digital MP3 player? I don't have anything like that. That's not even a thing. Nobody ever created one that was ever better than this. I'm going to be able to put like 6 songs on here. This is you're the greatest, Ryan.
Well,
this is the best Christmas ever. In a Nintendo DS game, you're just the best.
On the 21st, the conjunction on the 21st, when the apocalypse arrives, you're going to be ready.
Yes, naturally. Now, Ryan, did you receive a gift from me? This is the spirit of giving.
Giant.
Look at that.
Bag.
I made that myself.
You did. Wow.
I can't back that up.
So everyone knows I'm a watch fanatic, or if you don't, you do now. I've got this digital. It tells the time in bytes that I got in Germany. Look what Graham gave me.
A Casio data bank.
Casio data bank, straight out of the
That
80s.
is a real retro data bank, man. I want you to compute a Happy New Year.
Well, I can because I have 8-digit calculation.
You do. And I hope you're going to put more than just like boobs on there.
Everyone also
and you got this nice pin.
What's that?
This is the game over pin to say that 2020 is game over.
Game over, dude. That is awesome.
How
so
exciting.
Everybody knows I wear like enamel pins on my military jacket like I'm a general. people salute me when I go into the Walmart. And so I put.
I go into the Walmart.
All right.
Oh my God.
So,
that's too good.
There's lots of news this week, but I think we should skip that and go straight to our guests. What do you say?
Let's just go to the guests, baby. We can do the lightning round at the end. John.
John,
there he is.
Graham, Rob, how you guys
Wow.
doing? Thanks for having me on.
Yeah.
Great.
So first, what are you drinking?
Yeah, what do you got over there?
First, come on. I brought some angry gnomes with me.
Nice.
Right? That's my angry gnome.
I'm working on being an angry gnome.
Because I am the epitome of grumpy, but I bring a lot of joy and happiness to the IoT world, and I'll tell you about that.
You do.
Yeah.
All right.
Joy and good tidings.
How many slides are we talking about for this demo?
Yeah. I'm not doing slides and demos.
Oh, okay.
I could do demos.
We have a no slide rule on Weeks In.
Yeah. Oh,
we do have we do, or a no charts if you're a really old member of our tribe.
I have just enabled IoT everything in my house. So especially around Christmas time, it's a free for all.
Awesome. So John,
on and off.
What were you nerding about this year? What excited you this year in the world of anything that excites you, whether it's movies, video games, technology? I don't know what it is. You tell me. What excited you this year?
IoT and Edge. I've been working Call for Code and a bunch of different open source projects to sort of tech for good. Really has been nerding out a lot. And so it turns out there are no earthquakes in New Jersey, but there are earthquakes if you didn't know, no earthquakes in New Jersey. Good thing.
I did not know that.
Earthquakes in Mexico and California and Puerto Rico and New Zealand and Nepal and go around the world. There's earthquakes. And so there's this open source project called OpenEEW. And we're building a bunch of sensors to detect earthquakes. And I've been working on the firmware with this open source project to detect the earthquake and send the data alerts to the cloud, and then send out alerts to your neighbors, a couple of miles away that the earthquake is moving through the ground, and hopefully get yourself to somewhere safe in your house, in your building, stop a train, turn off an elevator, save some lives. And so I've been nerding out on some Edge and IoT gear with the OpenEEW community, worldwide group. It's awesome.
That is insane though, because I saw there was a demo a couple of years ago that I saw you talk about in New Orleans. I don't know if you remember that, or you're talking about how you could attach similar sensors to the infrastructure and maybe detect when a hurricane comes. The same thing. Yeah. How is your infrastructure going to do?
Man, you engineers are such
New Orleans is below ground, below water level, and so if you just ran a bunch of sensors. So I'm always looking for some practical problem and how can I apply some IoT gear to go solve.
So John, I totally love that. Cheers to you. But I've got a trivia question for you. Do you know who the first person in history was to download information from the cloud using a tablet? And actually, he used two tablets. So first person to ever download information from the cloud to a tablet to then share out. Do you know who it was?
Wow, I'm trying to think. I don't know. Maybe it was a Whopper.
You didn't know there would be math, Graham. Come on.
It was Moses. Get it? Information from the cloud to two tablets to the people.
Nicely done.
Thank you. I'll be here all week. Don't forget to tip your waitress. John, thank you so much for joining us. Always great to hear you doing tech for good.
Avid fan.
I'm going to have to go ahead and do my Yoda voice with those ears. So,
please make us
do it, do not.
Every gnome are you? Oh.
I'm not sure that was Yoda, but I tried to do Yoda. Awesome. Well, John, thank you so much for joining us. Merry Christmas, if you want to stick around and sing, go for it. If not, get back to work. I'm sure you got a lot of unanswered slacks.
Sure thing.
Thank you, John. It was great to see you. All right.
Who's next?
Lord have mercy. I think we have an elf. Elf
we
Dudley?
Do not. That's not true. There's no elves. Right? Elves aren't
Dudley
real.
Is
proof to me that elves are real. I demand evidence.
I think Elf Dudley is very
oh my God, elves are real. So exciting.
Hello, this is awesome, guys.
So Sarah, first of all, what are you drinking?
So, I've got Chip here with me.
Nice.
And within is coffee. Wink, wink.
Yeah. That's what this is. This is also coffee. As you can see, I'm just done. I'm cutting to the
I'm
chase.
impressed, Graham, by your complete lack of
I'm just done.
going for
Done.
it.
It's been one of those weeks.
We want to know, what have you geeked out about this year the most? What are you geeking out about right now? Or what are you sort of looking forward to geeking out about?
What interests Sarah Dudley?
Well, as you may know, I've been working diligently to save the North Pole, from calamity this year. It's been a hard year. IoT.
I spat out my seltzer.
Putting it to work. So when you all have wonderful gifts under your trees.
Right.
It's right here.
The Joyometer. The Joyometer is a real thing. It's real.
I've also been trying to figure out how to block Facebook friend
Brian, no charts.
From people that you're trying to sell things to on Facebook Marketplace. So if we have any ideas from the collective group, that would be fantastic. But I'd say also I've been getting into this is like circa 2017 probably at this point, but I actually started investing in Bitcoin, and that's been an exciting time. So
really.
So
are you a billionaire yet?
It's new for me, and I will say one thing. I'm about when something new comes out, I'm like, all right, give me 2 years, and then I'll think about it. So I'm a pretty late, even though I work in technology, I am a very late adopter to personal technology.
All right, well, we've got.
So are you a billionaire yet? Because my understanding is once you get into Bitcoin, like it's just an overnight transformation into billionaire status.
Sarah,
you are in my 2 weeks notice today, I'm kidding.
You're in luck, because here we're going to change it up. I'm actually going to welcome our resident blockchain expert onto the camera here.
Yay!
What's up, Ann?
Excuse me, resident blockchain expert and her amazing husband. Let's be honest there.
I've heard of blockchain. And
so,
is your cat named Blockchain? Because that would be amazing.
No. Please tell me. That would be very uncomfortable.
So you have an investing tip, a crypto investing tip for Sarah to take back to the North Pole. That's what I want to know.
Yeah, the North Pole's really interested in Bitcoin. So anything you know.
Maybe not.
Sarah, I have an investing tip for you. My investing tip is sell.
Yeah.
That's my invest. That's it. That's as far as it goes for me. That's it. Other than that, I just have to start quoting Gordon Gekko from Wall Street, because that's all I know. At that point, it just turns into the greed is good speech, and I'm just embarrassing myself, because that's all I got for you.
Your insights are profound, Graham.
Happy holidays, Sarah. Thank you so much.
Yes. Cheers.
On this show, hang out. There's going to be a dance number, apparently. I think.
Oh, I'll start practicing.
I want to know what Val's investing advice is. Val, what would you say?
I think our attorney would say don't dispense investment advice.
There you go.
But I think if a friend was asking a friend,
I'm just a friend asking a friend.
Bitcoin is good. Amazon is good. People hate Jeff Bezos, but
go on.
Everybody's buying off Amazon.
He's banking.
Purchase Amazon. Got it. Yeah. Okay. I just transferred you 72 week's end coins for you to invest on just a friend's behalf. I mean,
yeah, we were going to wait to the end, but there's going to be a token. We're revealing a week's end token on the show today.
Oh, nice.
That's not true.
I know.
This
is a corny dad joke, Ryan, you're getting today. Okay. So that's all I got.
All right.
Sarah, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you.
Best elf ever.
Oh, man. Team Ward.
Yeah.
This whole idea started with you two.
It did.
I want to thank you, because we were thinking how fun it would be to have a party line. And then we were like, well, Ann has been DMing us about every show, talking about, basically accusing us of being terrible, well, not terrible, but just the nerdiest, goofiest dudes on the planet, I guess, right?
Oh, okay, that I'll go for.
Who
I wear it like a badge of courage.
I don't know. So besides cats, Team Ward, what have you been nerding out about this year? What's all the buzz in your household? And the answer is not work, Anne.
No, of course not. Although I will say I'm advising a startup I'm very excited about this year called Quake that provides AR technology for firefighters and visibility in smoke. And they've just signed contracts with Homeland Security and Verizon. They're going to be a household name here next year. And I think it's just such a cool application of AR.
And that's awesome. My former brother-in-law, who we actually lost this year, was a firefighter, and I was actually a volunteer firefighter many years ago, and that is for a very brief time. I mean, very brief, because I didn't have the courage for it, but he certainly did, and I think that's really cool. But I literally said to you, not about work. So what are you nerding about that's not work?
I don't know what's working, what's not.
She doesn't follow rules.
I don't like rules.
That's just the way
Yeah.
I know, Val. I know.
I also was reading actually today about a startup that just closed $4 million in funding called the TAP Network.
Wow.
And that's really cool because they're incentivizing awards. So a lot of us, we used to travel, we used to do, business travel and things to gain rewards, but they actually have found a way to group it so that people who don't do those things anymore can still get access to killer deals. So
that is awesome.
Rewards as a service is the term they're wanting us to all use. We'll see if that takes off. But I like the idea of discounts and customized offers. That's pretty cool.
So, Anne, can you maybe set up like a WebEx miles or a Zoom miles where for every hour we're on these virtual calls, we earn something? Because I was on 9 hours straight yesterday to the point that I had to actually beg my colleagues at one point, can we please stop? I have got to go to the bathroom and I've got to eat something. And they were like, oh yeah, go. And then they went on for a further half an hour to the point that I was like, so I don't know. I would love to be able to earn some miles for my my WebEx and Zoom time.
I actually don't think that's too far from happening because look at Brave and their Brave attention token. If you use Brave and you sign up, you can actually gain tokens for your time you spend online. So who knows? Maybe there will be a new platform that'll incentivize us to use them and then we get money back.
Wow. Ryan, to the Googles. We need that.
Maybe hook up a machine learning filter to your camera and make it more costly to annoy someone.
Oh my God.
Ooh, I like that.
I am so glad you married that genius, Anne. He's a genius. And what about you, Val? What have you been enjoying there? What shows, what movies, what books, what TV? What have you been doing with yourself?
Let's see. Wasting too much time on Twitter.
Yeah,
that's good.
Right there with you, buddy.
Everyone on this is guilty of that. Yeah.
I like doom scroll for at least 4 hours a day.
Mostly before I go to bed 6 times this year.
Yes, and thank you for not busting me immediately for making you watch Lifetime.
I know. Well, it's a nice distraction.
Saved democracy, then democracy saved itself, so it's fine, I guess.
I want to raise
whatever we're supposed
democracy.
To do. Yes, Cheers. To democracy. I'm just raising the whole bottle.
To democracy, everyone.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, you two. You can hang out backstage and sing with us later, or you can go off and do all the amazing things you do. And we love all the work you do out there for startups and tech and all the wonderful things. And Val, you're the best, man. I'm so glad I got to know you. I'm really in this for the Val. Let's be honest. But can we see the cat one more time?
I'm keeping Ann. You can have Val. We'll talk about it later.
I like that. All right. Thanks for joining us,
guys. Happy holidays. It's great to see your face. I just want to say it's great to see your faces.
It is.
Right?
It is good.
You too. I miss those mugs.
Trying to keep it positive.
We'll talk to you soon. I'm having a hard time saying goodbye to guests. So it's like,
good God, Ryan, just do it, man.
All right. Casey.
Who's next? Casey.
Mr. Stick.
Casey and the Sunshine. Is it Stegman or Stegman? How exactly do you say that last name?
It's Tregoy, right?
The emphasis is on the T, so you just really want to be like Stegman. Stegman, Stegosaurus. It's the thing that I always had growing up is either Stegosaurus or Casey at the Bat, and everyone being like, "Hey, did you know of these things?" And I always had to
do you have plates on your back? I need to know.
I do. I can take down a triceratops if I need to. So
God, you're impressive. So, Casey, I really like your very extremely minimalistic, festive background. It's very Christmassy.
Thank you. I'm at a beach house that has no Christmas decorations, but I want to note this is actually a Christmas tree. So right behind me, I don't know if you can.
Ryan, you got to put. There we go.
There we go.
There we go.
Christmas tree, and that's a Christmas boat on a Christmas lake, and then
those are Christmas birds.
Yeah, the whole thing.
That's a commonly accepted fact. Casey, what have you been nerding out about this year? Tell us what's going on in the world of capital T Casey Stegman.
So one thing I definitely have been nerding out and I've been telling everybody about is a new podcast. Well, it's not new podcast, but it came out over the summer. It's created by Sarah Ramos and Caroline Goldfarb, and it's called The Renner Files. And it is a true crime style podcast that investigates the Jeremy Renner app that briefly appeared on people's app stores and then like really just disappeared with a lot of confusion and questions. And so those looks on your face, that's where they start off, which why did Jeremy Renner have an app? And they bring in special guests, including Seth Rogen, to delve into the mystery that is the Jeremy Renner story. Because
I got to check that out.
The man's
does he do the Seth Rogen laugh?
It was kind of like a micro trend for a while that everybody thought that they were going to get their own app, right? And then we realized that really wasn't going to scale, even in Hollywood, right?
No, it's a shame too, because the Jeremy Renner app offered a number of different, just special features. And I'll leave it there because you got to go listen to the 6-part documentary. It's fabulous.
Awesome.
Okay, I'm confused and intrigued.
Yes, I am too.
Confused,
but honestly, that's most of my days. I find myself confused and intrigued often.
That's how Sherlock Holmes did his thing. So I mean, you're halfway there.
I think that should be the subtitle of our show: Confused and Intrigued.
Confused and Intrigued. You heard it here first, folks.
So Casey, I want to have like a deep discussion about film projects.
Okay, I was worried for a second there.
So thank you so much for being a guest. I want to know, what are you drinking something today?
Oh, yeah.
I am. I'm drinking. It's called pamplemousse. I think it's from.
Impressive.
I guess it's only a pamplemousse. It's from the pamplemousse region of France, which I'm going to assume this is because
Of course it is.
So,
Of course it is.
Yeah,
they just bring it here in
Casey,
bulk.
no branding has ever lied or confused their purchasers, their buyers. That's a fact.
No, I mean Crystal Pepsi made out of crystals.
It's made out of pure crystals. That's common knowledge. That's science.
How they did it. I mean, they shook an industry by breaking some crystals and then melting them down and putting it in a bottle so everyone can enjoy it.
Good Lord.
God, that's good.
I think that was the
Casey,
tagline.
that was the tagline. We broke down crystals and we fed them.
You
to
guys remember?
enjoy.
I know you remember Pop Rocks. You're making my mind go different places. So everybody knows Pop Rocks. Do y'all remember the candy called Zots?
Zots.
So Zots was like ZATZ.
Was that like off-brand Pop Rocks?
It was like it wasn't like Pop Rocks.
Oh, is that the one that was killing kids?
You dump a whole bag of it in your mouth and you wait to see if your head explodes. But Zots were just one little tablet, so it was much more manageable. And it was like a Tootsie Roll, except the center was like Pop Rocks.
This
is my wrap it up symbol, Ryan. We've got a lot of people here.
You're gonna kick me off the show and have Casey co-host. I get it.
I just want Casey. That's all. You know that.
That's cool.
It's now a Zots investigation show. We're going. We're gonna do a we're gonna figure out.
We need our own Law and Order sound. Boom, boom.
It's sold in no stores near you. All right, thanks, Casey. Cheers.
Bye.
Thanks, buddy.
All right, we are going to our next guest, which I think is going to be.
I'm gonna go. You're driving. I'm just watching.
What do you mean? I'm going to Mr. Scott Monty.
Holy cow! There he is.
Hello, Scott. How are you?
So, Scott, we don't have any audio from you at this second.
I have 2 streams for Scott.
You have 2 streams for Scott?
Let's see what happens.
I love the bow tie. There's no doubt about that.
See, there's the bow tie action.
So it shows that he's not on mute. I'm going
I
to
know,
quickly.
right? All right, we're going to remove Scott for a moment. Or no,
Well, wait a
Oh.
minute.
There he is.
there he
Come
is.
on.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, people.
Scott.
That was an impressive turnaround. What a development.
I've got a
Scott,
whole studio team.
welcome to the
working
show.
here. What can you say?
you are known for bow ties, and I feel ridiculous wearing this toboggan, so I gotta try to class it up with you on here. Which is hard for me because I'm not a very classy
Are we
guy.
classing it up? I didn't know.
So I'm
we were-
going back to the classic Santa.
Oh,
hat.
phew. Okay, I feel better. All right.
That's really nice. Now, did you notice my bow tie has a holiday theme?
Oh yeah, I did.
Jingle bells.
Nice.
Nice.
Well, my son learned the Jingle Bell Rock, which was the intro song that we brought the show in on. He's a guitar guy, but he learned that song in like 5 minutes right before the show. So we
Wow.
had a live house band. So Scott, what are you drinking today, if
What
anything?
am I drinking? Well, it would be on brand if I said I was drinking gin, but I'm not. I actually have a nice bottle of Weller and
Oh,
Ooh, that is
very nice.
this is some fine stuff, gentlemen. Let me just tell
yes,
you.
it is.
That is
Wow.
some fun. That is a very impressive room you are in, sir. I bet it smells of leather-bound books and rich mahogany. You have Beethoven behind you. I see a Union Jack. I think I see a whole bunch of. I'm assuming they're National Geographics, but I could be wrong.
Well, that's my geeking out thing. But do you see this thing right here? This fragile thing.
I
Oh,
certainly
yeah.
do. From A Christmas Story, that is
Major
extremely
award.
impressive.
That is a major award.
Wow, that
No.
is amazing. What a room! I want to hang out in there.
Well, you're welcome anytime. I've got seating all around. You can't see it, but you're welcome to browse any books you want. This just being in this room makes me feel smarter.
I feel smarter as
I
opposed
feel
to my
smarter.
room, which is full of toys and a Captain America shield. I feel much smarter with you.
Oh, my friend.
I always feel just smarter in your presence, Scott. What are you geeking out about this year?
Well,
Yeah, what's been your focus this year?
it's these very same National Geographics that you mentioned. It is actually a subscription I got to a tome called Lapham's Quarterly. Comes out 4 times a year. It's a history. It's a journal of history and literature, and every topic I find relates to something going on today. So this one's about lines of work. Talked about unemployment. Talks about the transference of the effort over time of using our hands to using our brains more prominently as a society, and what that means and how it makes people feel. And it as you can tell, I'm a guy who likes timeless things. Bow ties are timeless. They're never in style because they're never out of style, right? Or they're never out of style because they're never in style, right? I think there are some fundamental things that we need to remember about ourselves that go beyond technology. So this has kind of kept me grounded in, what humans have thought about for centuries, really, and the stuff that I'm sure we're going to think about centuries from now. That, in our race toward engineering everything, sometimes we overlook them.
Scott, that is so cool. So I've never heard of that, and I'm a huge history buff, and I'm definitely going to look into that. One thing that I actually got my father this year for Father's Day was, I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but it's a subscription service that sends famous letters from history straight to the house. So he gets them, and they look exactly, they're printed on the same paper with the same method. They look exactly like famous letters from all different, presidents or kings and queens and celebrities and all kinds of people throughout history. And they come to the house and they look exactly as they did and when they were sent. And he has collected each one and put them into plastic and made a binder of them, and he loved it. So that is super cool that you've got that. Would you say that was 4 times a year?
4 times. It's quarterly. Lapham's Quarterly.
I love that.
It's a thick book, and Lewis Lapham is the editor. He was the editor for, I think, 25 years of Harper's Magazine, an extremely brilliant writer. He writes the introductory essay that kind of wraps the whole issue together. But if you go to laphamsquarterly.org, you can check it out. It's just such a great font of information.
Oh, that is super cool. Well, thank you for sharing that with us. And by the way, am I right? Is that Beethoven behind you?
That is. It was his 250th birthday. yesterday.
There you go, 250th birthday.
Well
so
done.
very, very, very cool. Well, Scott, thank you so much for carving time out of your Library of Congress there to join us. Greatly appreciated. And Ryan, I really need to work on my audio quality because my God, his is so good.
Well,
I know, right? We can really tell the professionals just from the mic, and that's
it could just be the pipes. That
yeah, could be that too.
The pipes. That could be. It could be. Awesome. Well, Scott, what a pleasure. And I hope you have a happy holidays, a happy new year. And man, I'm really looking forward to checking out, what was it called again? Lapham's
Quarterly.
Quarterly. I'm going to be all over that. That is
I'll drop it in the comments section.
Much appreciated.
All right, guys. Big fan. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Happy holidays. We'll talk soon. All right.
Oh, that was great. I love learning things from exciting people.
All right. I think we have
the internet.
Mr. Michael.
Oh.
Hello,
wow.
Hello, Michael Rowe.
So when I think of the holidays, I think of Bavaria and in the Alps, and taking a nice little walk around. So I got my hat on for you. Nice. So thank you for having me. This is fun. Been enjoying the green room back here.
Well, it's great to have you. I assume you're not going to yodel for us. Is that correct?
No. Oh no. Okay. I learned not to do that.
Ryan, what were you going to say there, buddy?
I was just going to
no.
The green room chat is like on fire from everybody that's just hanging out back there, basically making fun of who's on camera at any given time, which is awesome.
Which is the best way to do it, right?
It is the best way to do it, right?
Of course.
So, Michael, tell us first of all, what are you drinking today?
Unfortunately, I am actually between meetings, so I'm drinking a festive. Clear liquid. It could be vodka.
Hey, just to be clear, Michael,
it's not.
I'm also between meetings. That's a true story, by the way.
You and I have talked a lot, and we actually talked about one of your podcasts from earlier in the year on our show.
Oh, cool.
You interviewed one of the gamers responsible for the old retro game Elite.
Yes.
Which I was totally nerding out about. I want everybody to go listen to Michael Rowe's podcast.
Called gamesatwork.biz. Gamesatwork.biz. It's available on Breaker, on the Blueberry Network, on Apple, on Amazon, on Google, you name it, it's everywhere. Or you can just go to the website, gamesatwork.biz. We actually just recorded our show right before this one. And it's a blast. We record every Friday.
Awesome.
Super cool. I got to check that out. Ryan, why aren't we on all those networks, mister?
This is just a party line. Okay, Michael.
Yes.
You were challenged, I think, to come up with just one thing to talk about. What did you pick for your?
Yeah, I thought long and hard about this, and it's one thing, but it's gonna morph to about 1 billion. So not work related. So that's the best part. And it's Swift UI. You say, Michael, Swift UI. What is that?
Michael, Swift UI. What is that?
So this is Apple about, I guess it's 2 years now, came out with a new way of describing the user interface. So, I actually took my app that I wrote many, many years ago called Wasted Time, which you can also find online, and ported it to the Apple TV. Because, why not? All using Swift UI.
As one does.
And my secret goal of world domination is to get corporations to put this on their Apple TVs and all their meeting rooms, because it calculates how much money you're wasting getting meetings started. And I figured, so it's on the watch, it's on the iPhone, I got a Mac version, and now it's on the Apple TV, thanks to Swift UI. And that was really what I geeked out about on that really was WWDC this year, which was all virtual, which was really cool in some ways and horrible in others. But it gave me time to spend a week just really going deep, and that's what's been fun. If I had to choose one thing.
Michael, let me tell you something, Michael. As a virtual events coordinator in my outside life here, I can tell you that all of our virtual events are interesting and horrible at the same time.
Absolutely. Because you don't have the party, you don't have the food, you don't hang out with the people.
No, dude, it has been quite a year, let me tell you. So
Yeah.
I hear you loud and clear on that. Games@work.biz. Man, that is
sir.
cool.
Check out the podcast, everybody. Michael, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thanks for having me. Really
Michael,
enjoyed it.
thank you.
We need to find ways to talk more often. This has been a weird year, but I know. Let's do it.
It is.
Cheers. Later.
Cheers.
Cheers. All right. So,
And I would like to point out that his contract explicitly prevented us from asking him to sing opera and or engage him on as like in one of his characters, to ask him to actually act as one of his characters.
That's right.
He's an actor, a singer. You do all these amazing things, Michael,
here's
and I
the
just
thing,
think it's the
Graham.
greatest.
You don't give it away for free.
That's right. You got to come see the show. And
you got to
And
come
you
see the show,
especially don't
baby.
give it away on a bullshit show like this. I mean,
Brian,
you shouldn't see it.
Emmy Award-winning show. What are you talking about, sir?
We'll see. We're baby steps. Thank you, Michael. Happy holidays.
Thanks, buddy.
All right.
What a good crew.
I know, right?
What a bunch of
next
crazy
up, I want to bring
shenanigans.
I want to bring an old buddy of mine on the show here,
Wow.
Brian Fanzo. What's up?
Look at that.
Guys, cheers.
How's it going, man?
Good.
Cheers.
I knew you were going to have something special. Mad Elf. Nice.
Yeah, that little Matt Elf.
That's good. You know what? I've given up beer. I've been meaning to talk to you about this, about beers that I can drink with I have a allergy, and I need to talk to a beer expert like you to figure out what I can tolerate, because I've pretty much given up on all of it, and now I'm drinking craft distilled vodka. Bedlam. This is out of Durham, North Carolina, but yeah.
Good stuff.
Another talk for another day. We want to know, what are you geeking out about that's not work related? Because that's what you had in your writer.
Yeah, well, you would have to be work related to have to mean you had a job. And as a keynote speaker, I'm unemployed, so that one's not a problem. I'm geeking out trying to figure out when you reach the end of Netflix, what you do next.
Oh my God, man! The show hole.
All of this
worst.
year on.
Yeah, it's funny. So I had the same problem, and I finished Queen's Gambit, and I finished all these different shows, and I was like, I don't know what to do now. And I'm like watching old movies, trying to figure out. And then I started watching a show that I understand is now several years old at this point, Peaky Blinders.
Oh, it's good. That's good.
Wow,
The writing
what a great
on that
show.
is really good.
Well, and the next thing I know, I'm like searching for pocket watches with double Albert chains with the hanging fob, and I'm trying to look at suits. I'm getting the sides of my head. I mean, wow, what a show! Yeah. But yeah, I mean, there's. I'll tell you one thing I want to check out that I haven't seen yet is the remake of The Stand on CBS All Access. Did you ever see The Stand that came out in the 90s?
Yeah, I remember the 90s.
Remember that?
Version,
it was like. It was a little weird. It had the Gary Sinise and Molly Ringwald, and it was good, but it was a little janky. But they've made a new one, and with
Whoopi Goldberg, right?
Whoopi Goldberg. And the Skarsgård as the Walking Man. But man, it just looks so good. But the show hole. You got to break out of the show hole.
Well, we went from like years of having, we didn't like TV. We wanted to disconnect to go Netflix and everything because there was 300 channels and nothing was ever on. Now we have 300 apps with different channels on each one with nothing that's ever on. It's like we've gone full circle into the great abyss of. It's crazy, but I'm a documentary fan. Like I think that's where I spent.
Yeah.
I stopped listening to podcasts during the epidemic or during the pandemic for whatever reason. Podcasts have been my life for 8 years, but it put me in a weird headspace every time. Like, we're not normal, so I can't listen to podcasts. So I've just been defaulting to documentaries. But now I feel like I think I've Googled every version of like top 20 documentaries made in the 90s, top 20.
Oh, yeah.
That's where I've been geeking out. That's just about it.
I've got one for you.
That's good stuff.
Yep.
If you haven't seen, there's a documentary called May It Last, and it's made by Judd Apatow and a documentary filmmaker named Michael Bonfiglio. Check it out. It's on I think you can get it on Prime or HBO.
Not the Abbott Brothers?
Maybe. Yeah, sure. Yeah, okay.
HBO?
Yes, sir.
Another one for you.
Running joke. Sorry, this is a running insider joke with Graham and I that I have to somehow bring up the band on every show.
He literally is such a groupie. I actually at one point was convinced he was working for them and or related to them. Another one, two others for you to check out would be the Heaven's Gate cult.
I've watched that.
Boy, that's good.
I'm huge into the cult side. I have a notebook that's dedicated just to cult documentaries that I take notes to. I enjoy the heck out of that.
Dude, I totally hear you on that. And then another one, which is a little more obscure, but I don't know how much you're into like military history, but the Cold Blue, about the mighty 8th Air Force in Europe during World War II. And that one is interesting for me because they show the exact base, the exact the exact people of a guy that I actually researched for part of a World War II research project that I did. And the Cold Blue really gives you a sense. And what's interesting about it is it was filmed, and I forget his name off the top of my head. I should know, but I have an excuse. It was filmed by a very famous Hollywood director who actually flew in combat with them. So if you get a chance, check out The Cold Blue. It's really, really good.
I watched one just the other day called Murder on Middle Beach. It's on HBO. And it was, the cool thing about it is a kid, while he was in college, freshman, his mom got murdered. And he started taking a TV production class. And because his he was going through all those things, the professor was like, I'll give you some time to come up with this thing. He's like, I want to find the killer of my mom. That was 10 years ago. He's been doing the documentary for 10 years. So it's actually him directing it. He ends up putting himself in the thing. I love that juxtaposition. Really, really freaking good. It starts off rather slow, but the last 4 episodes are just, it's a documentary where someone that is going through it is also the one telling the story. So he goes through the headspace of being afraid of exposing his parents and his family's stories. And you see old school 10 years ago video camera over his shoulder to 2 years ago, HBO picked it up and he has a crew. It's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool documentary within a documentary.
That's really cool. I too am afraid of exposing my family's backstories. But another couple of cool things to check out are Casey backstage was just talking about console wars or high score or the movies that made us, the video games the toys that made us. So much good stuff out there.
The nostalgia is epic.
My octopus teacher, John was just talking about that backstage. My octopus teacher is oh my God.
There's a series on horror, behind the scenes of horrors as well. That's really good. That I think, what's his name? The guy that made Titanic. He's
James Cameron.
James Cameron. Yeah, that guy.
that obscure James Cameron.
I know, right?
Jimmy Cams.
So the last one I'll give is I was weird. We watch all the holiday movies. Dolly Parton had a new document. It wasn't a documentary, but it was it started out with her singing in a sled in Dollyland, but then it was about her childhood.
That was really good.
It was corny, but we thought it was really freaking awesome.
What? On that same note, Taylor Swift's one on Netflix is so good. Yeah. It's access into the narrative where she's doing it on her own phone for part of it. And I'm a massive Swift fan. I listen to Swift on a regular.
Are you a Swiftie, as our CMO would say? You're
time.
a Swiftie.
When the Spotify rap thing came out, it was 5,800 hours of music and 1,000 of that's Taylor Swift. So I got no shame in I'm a Swiftie.
So, Brian, before we let you go, I just want to point out one thing that somebody backstage just said. One of our guests, Val, said that I hope one day to be killed in such a way where it has to be solved by a couple of suburban women podcasters. Val, to you, buddy. I, too, hope to be murdered someday so that it has to be solved on a podcast. That is an impressive statement, sir.
Awesome. Cheers, guys.
Yeah, thanks, man. Thanks for taking the time to join us today. It's great to see you. I actually haven't seen you since we were at an IBM conference years ago in Vegas.
2016 or maybe 2017.
Yeah, dude, it was years ago, but it's good to see you.
IBM had 14 events in 1 year that we were all at.
Yes, it was that year. You haven't aged. I look terrible, but it's good to see you.
We are like you and hope that those days come back soon because that's where the magic happens.
It is where the magic happens and the drinks. All right, Brian, thanks so much for joining us.
Later.
Who's next? We're getting down there.
Who's next? We got 2 more guests, folks.
Yancy!
What is up, my man?
Wow.
How are y'all today?
There he is.
We're doing well.
We're good. How are you?
So Yancy is an old buddy of mine. I like to say I have this OG squad of Twitter people, Twitter friends that I met in 2007 or 8.
Been a minute.
so the too long didn't read version is that Yancy and I used to do a lot of like local grassroots community management, Twitter. We used to call them tweet ups.
Yes,
And
we
we
did.
used to have all these just fantastic live events that was all through Twitter. And it was people from all walks of life, tech, not tech, didn't matter who you were. We turned it into a speaker series. And so we go way back.
Yes, absolutely.
And then I think we ended up doing like stuff like the Ignite series. We brought Ignite to Raleigh, and that, you were right there for all that too.
Those were great.
Yancy, what are you drinking today, buddy?
Yeah, what's going on in the Yancy world?
Officially for the next Waterloo, but there is a green soda cup and
a little drink enhancer there.
That in case we run out of the other.
Okay.
Wow, you are redundant, sir. That is impressive.
So
There are options.
this is what I'll tell you about Yancy. Thorough is a apt. Just like he is the guy that like you call when you need to figure something out, and he's going to give you 4 plans on how to fix it and how much, whatever.
That is impressive. Yancy, I have 2 questions for you, sir. The first question is, your name Yancy is the coolest. I would really like to understand where that comes from, because I have never heard that name before, and it's amazing. And second of all, what are you nerding about this year, man? What's going on? What books, TV, movie, tech, video games? What's going on in the world of Yancy?
So the word Yancy is a Native American word. It's derived from a Native American word for Englishman. If you ever seen Last of the Mohicans, they mention at one point he mentions it and more or less says my name. Mom saw it off Yancy Derringer riverboat captain, which lasted like a year, like in 1958 or something. And for some reason, she picked that name for me. I hated it through about high school, but after that, I've appreciated it.
So Yancy, let me just say to that, as a person who grew up as graham cracker and nose picker, I would have taken Yancy in a heartbeat. So noseworthy was not an easy one to grow up with, but that is really, really cool. Now I want to watch Last of the Mohicans again. Just stay alive. I will find you. I love that movie. That was a little creepy. I'm sorry. That's the Rome.
Well, and it was filmed right here near us too.
Yeah. So what am I geeking out about here? What's left of 2020? Like everyone else, 2020 was about survival, tech, and otherwise. But speaking of which, I recently started wearing glasses again. I had a little corneal abrasion incident in November, and so I've spent way too much time looking at different options for reducing screen time and also taking it easier on my eyes. So instead of the blue blockers, wearing the Wayfarers today. Otherwise, I think that we were fortunate to have everything kind of ready to go. So when this happened, we had all the tech we needed for the household, and I've been doing that with my company, whatever. But as far as personally, 2021, I'm going to try to dust off all the things I put off and trying to get to them. So one of those things is in terms of household, have a G5 PowerPC, go Big Blue, that has been our Apple TV media server for a while, and it's kind of starting to hit the bump stops. And I was kind of like, what am I going to do? And so couldn't figure out that. And all of a sudden came across Oasia NOS. And so with that, you have something to drive it. And so finally I found the Raspberry Pi project I've been looking for. And so thanks, guys. We'll be using this to build a media server.
Yes, sir. This is matchmaking right here. He's going to teach you how to do stuff.
And what's left of 2020, if not sometime early 2021, and I'll let you know guys how it turns out. But and so I'm looking forward to that. I finally have my excuse to get gigabit fiber. So aside from that, just really enjoying the fact that we're here at this point in the year, and
yes, sir.
Hopefully 2021 will be better.
We're here.
A couple
here.
I want to change it up, and I want to upgrade to a huzzah. Can we do it together?
Can we? Let's do a huzzah together. Huzzah!
Huzzah! 2021.
Her sides of made of iron, as they say here in Massachusetts about the USS Constitution, which is in Charlestown. Thank you very much.
Yancy, you'll get a kick out of this. I know that we've talked a lot about Baby Yoda, and you send me Baby Yoda memes, it seems like every other day. I've got 4 Baby Yodas lined up here. 1, 2, 3. But I added a 4th. Wait for it, folks.
Okay.
Oh, are we doing that? Oh, is it time for that? Oh, hold on. Here it is. He's going for the Baby Yodas. It never stops. The man is obsessed. I think he just wishes he was a Mandalorian.
I have I thought it wasn't going to be a Christmas party unless we had inflatables and a tree. So I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a little anticlimactic, I think, but okay.
For a couple things, for host gift, I don't know if you've ever had any of this, Graham, but I'm sure Ryan's told you about Cheerwine.
Oh, yeah.
Next time I see you, there's a Cheerwine on me for you, Graham.
Oh, man. Thanks, Yancy.
And Ryan,
Cheerwine is where it's at down here.
For the man that has everything and then some, I've had this for years and just have never given it to you. And you probably already have one because in the time I've had it. But,
nice.
I'm going to cry. This is so cute.
Yes, thank you so
happy
much.
holidays.
He loves
and,
watches, and he is
man. I love
Batman.
you. Thank you so much.
Yancy, thank you so much for joining us, man.
Hang out in the green room. We're going to be
Coolest
right back.
name ever.
So we have one more guest. We have a surprise guest.
We have a surprise guest. Johnny Bullets.
Johnny Bullets that invited himself on the show because he was like, I can sing or something. Right? So what's up, John?
Yeah,
How you doing?
guys, it's a little bit of bait and switch there. I'm sorry to tell you.
That's all right.
That's quite all right. We're just glad you're here, man.
Right. Well, what have you been up to, man? And first of all, what are you drinking?
Oh gosh. Okay, so I'm drinking.
What are you not drinking?
Cheers.
Cheers.
It's funny. I'm sitting here thinking it's incredibly cool that we are here in our respective homes having this moment together. Really. I'm enjoying this so much, sitting in the green room, nerding out with these other guys, having fun in this chat, watching you guys on screen. I mean, really, this is a lot of fun. And I'm having this love affair with technology in general.
Yeah.
And
how lucky are we, right?
Right, seriously. And I'm having this love affair. I'm this huge extrovert, and my brother is a first responder. He and his husband are both first-line physicians. And, Thanksgiving's rolling around, and we're like, oh, my gosh, even if we're 100 feet away, let's get together. And they're like, nope, we're not going to do it. So I get this Zoom Pro membership thing. Sorry, I get this Zoom Pro subscription, and I orchestrate this family Zoom call, and all of a sudden I'm like, well, what the hell? Let's get the California relatives and let's get the DC relatives, and we get this huge Zoom call. 3.5 hours of everybody talking over each other and laughing and jokes, and I orchestrated it as like this show with trivia, and it was so much fun, so I'm geeking out with this technology that's making everything possible,
John, I couldn't agree more. It's funny. I've actually talked about this with my family, with friends, with all sorts of people, that of all the times for this to hit, there are a lot of us now, not all of us, but there's a lot of us who are very blessed with the technology, the means to have the technology, right? Yeah. Because it's not like it's free. Not everybody has this, but also the jobs that allow us to use. I mean, I am not complaining about being stuck in this. I do sometimes, but it's more just selfish venting, right? But I mean, I'm very lucky that I have a job that allows me to be stuck in this room and, which direction is it? Dealing with this ugly mug over here for many hours a day, and it's and we're lucky. And then, I mean, it's just the whole notion of like bringing us all together, right? And then being able to use it to find ways to share, right? So, for example, earlier this year, I got to do a whole like NASA history and sort of ask, what does it take to be an astronaut with kids all over the world? And I did them in multiple different time zones. And the thing that was cool about that was seeing the kids embrace the technology in the time of a pandemic, because the real reason I did it was, hey, my fellow coworkers, do your kids need a break while you're trying to adjust to working from home? This was very early in the pandemic. It was like Ryan, what was it? March, April, something like that. And so the original thing was just to give parents a break. And what it rapidly turned into was these kids teaching me how to make the most of this conferencing technology, and they're drawing and doing all. And it was this incredible sort of opportunity to share technology with kids. And A, it made me feel old, which was fine. And B, it made me realize how lucky we are to have this and how big of a world it is, but how small of a world it can be when we all hop on and do this. And I mean, John, literally until today, man, I did not know you, and now I know you, and it's fantastic. Boom. And here we are talking on this together, and I absolutely love it.
Yeah, totally. Well, and at the same time, I don't know if you guys are having the same experience too. I'm also, I was very into fitness, or I am into fitness, and not being able to go into the gym, I scrambled, and all of a sudden it's like, oh my gosh, I discovered walking, right? And I have rediscovered my neighborhood.
Like slowing down.
So what has happened to me during this pandemic, right? Believe it or not, I've discovered foraging, right? So imagine this, right? I have two kids, 20-year-old, 22-year-old. I come home all excited. Oh my gosh, guys, guess what? I found wild grapes. We're going to make grape jelly. And they're looking at me like, Dad, seriously? You're going to poison us. What the hell?
Dad, you're going to poison us.
Right? They're like, Dad, what the hell? No, you're going to poison us. We're not doing that. I'm like, oh, come on, let's go. Let's get right? And we get to get a ladder. And, my daughter's holding the ladder and she's complaining the whole time. And I'm like, just give me the bucket, right? We get all these grapes. We bring them home. And I'm like, trust me, they're grapes. Here, give me one. And I'm eating it in front of her. She's still skeptical. So we make them, and they're amazing, right? And so we had this amazing experience because I'm walking, right? It was awesome.
That's great.
I would not have done that had I not been walking.
I love that. I love that, John.
I think it's really taught me intentional, and look at things in 5-minute increments, and not like you're sort of suspended or paralyzed by anxiety. You've got to flip it on its head a bit, right? And be really intentional. I've been reading this book about how do you spend each 5 minutes or, any small sliver of time to really be productive and not think of it as you can't accomplish something in that time, but what can you really unleash if you just jump in?
So I'll tell you another thing, John, because I actually gave myself the permission to not worry about exercising and eating well and everything this month, right? Because it's been such a difficult time during the pandemic. I've struggled to find the time to exercise. It's far easier to just run and grab whatever crap is in the fridge and get back to work. And so what I've been doing is over the course of this month, I'm building a list of all these things that I want to take these baby steps towards getting, better at exercising, better in shape, better at eating, better at all these different changes that I want to make starting in January. And I'm not going to try to overdo it, because when you overdo it, you blow it. And so what I want to do is make these baby steps, and sort of giving myself that permission to do that has been great, right? Instead of trying to worry too much.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, we gotta be easy on ourselves, because
we gotta be easy on ourselves,
right? There's so much going on. I gotta tell you, I get a lot of pleasure out of trying to be deliberately kind to other people. We all get salespeople bugging us at work, and
what? I don't know anything about salespeople.
No, and I try very hard to be kinder to them than I might have been in the past, and actually really try to help them, and I can't tell you how many times, and I'm not saying this to pat myself on the back, but I've had a few times where they're like, oh my gosh, nobody's ever been this helpful to me. And it's like, you know what? I get it. It's tough.
It is tough.
Forward, right?
But it's tough. But look at this incredible group of amazing people that we have changing the world on Week's End with us today. So I want to thank John, Sarah, Team Ward, Casey, Stegman. I said it right. You saw that. Yancy, Scot, John Walicki, and Scott Monty. Thank you all so much for joining us. What a treat this is. I think we just lost Ryan. I think of all people for us to lose, we just lost Ryan. But anyway, I think we're going to do a little bit of a joint toast here. So let's do that. I took the cap off. So we'll do a joint toast. So whatever you're, oh, I should turn the label away from the camera. So whatever you're drinking. So to good health, to the end of this shit bag of a year, to 2021 being better, to all of you having success, and to whatever that little thing is between Val and Ann that looks like some sort of Zen master. Here's to you. Cheers. Thank you all for making the time.
Cheers.
Cheers, everyone. This has been really fun.
A lot of fun. Really appreciate everybody joining us today.
Great to see all your faces. I'm glad everyone's, surviving and doing their thing. We're going to do more.
Stay healthy, stay happy, get vaccinated.
Well, there we go. We shall see. And I just want to give a personal thanks for everybody that, is surviving. I just think this year it's been weird. I don't have any other word. So happy 2021.
Indeed. And I just want to say to Sarah, because Sarah and I have known each other for several years now. Sarah, you got to shave. You have to actually take care of that beard. You have to cultivate that.
I'm gonna live my life, Graham.
I know.
I mean, you're not going to win the Bachelorette if you've got that rocking. I mean, that's
2020, Graham. A lady can rock a beard if she wants.
You know what? That's a fair point. That is a fair point, Sarah. I support you in your life choices.
Thanks,
awesome.
everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Thanks, everybody.
Happy holidays.